Hey everyone, Wyatt here from Winnipeg Historical Fencing Club. This is the 10th lesson in the play of the two-handed sword between two bucklers, and it goes as follows. The 10 lesson and the third laying down of the sword is a quarter and in with the foot, and an hauke brokyng at the cheek, and then a double hauke about the head broken, and then in with a spryng of the foot, with a stroke aventurs, with a quarter and with a snache, laying to the earth with a contrary hand. So this would be the third laying down and the last laying down lesson in Harleyan. And then we have a quarter and in with the foot and a hauke breaking at the cheek. So the way it's written, it kind of seems like 3 individual lessons, and I treat it as such. So, and also with this one, a quarter could start from a right side or a left side. It doesn't specify. I started from a right just out of comfort of being a righty. And this lesson, you can make it work starting from the left side and doing everything, proceeding kind of the opposite of what I do from the right side. But I'm going to show it from the right side to begin with. So the quarter can also be started from a variety of guards. The main thing is just doing our downwards cut, but we're raising our hands, going through that pendant position, and then cutting downwards after. So typically when I start with a quarter, I like to start from a lower position. That makes a little more sense. Otherwise, I just probably start with a hauke. So I'll probably start in about a foete di ferro, or a full iron gate. And then because of the way it's worded, I'm going to do the step after the quarter. So I'm going to do a quarter, then step, and then do my hauke, breaking at the cheek. And when I do a breaking action, typically it just means I'm stopping that action midway through, basically just breaking the action. When I'm doing this with a partner, it's typically, I interpret that as being parried or deflected or some such. When I'm doing these solo drills, I'm just going to stop this one at the cheek, so probably about a long point or so. So give that a look. Then we have a double hauke about the head broken. So because our last hauke was on the left side and it was broken, it does make sense for us to keep doing left side hawks. If the action was broken, it makes more sense to now switch to the other side to kind of keep the momentum and the flow going naturally. The main question here is about the head broken. Is it the 2 hawks are about the head, or is the 2 hawks broken about the head? It doesn't really change much tactically or for the drill. We kind of still end up in the next position regardless. So I do this one, I'm going to do two regular hawks and then break it above the head. So instead of ending in long point like our other hawk was broken, this one's going to be more of like a posta frontale or crown guard, a little more point upright, like it's above my head or my opponent's head, than being in a long point position, which would have been around the cheek. So yeah. And then in with a spryng of the foot, or the stroke aventurs. So the spryng of the foot, we don't know if this is just a lunge off our back foot or a large pass, which essentially being a pass with a lunge. This can also be done either way. Same with our stroke aventurs. That can be cut from the right side or the left side. It doesn't specify. So I'm kind of doing what I feel is a little more naturally, a little more flow to it, just to give the drill a little more fluidity, I guess. So I'm just going to spryng off the back foot, just doing a lunge, and then doing my stroke aventurs around the backside and coming with a down left stroke. With a quarter and with a snache, laying to the earth with a contrary hand. So the confusing thing with this one is the wording of with a quarter. Is that implying that the stroke aventurs is done with a quarter, or is it just saying the stroke aventurs with a quarter following it? It's hard to know exactly, but the other lessons with stroke aventurs don't really follow this formula. So I kind of keep that the same here and keep them as separate actions. So I do my stroke aventurs, I finish that one, right foot forward with my sword low down. Mechanically, it makes sense to do a right to left side quarter, cutting down, And from there I do my snatch, so I'm going to cut from right to left, doing my quarter blow, keeping the momentum going, coming back around again with right to left side snatch, which is our one-handed cut to the legs, or that's how we interpret the snatch at least. So I snatch at the legs with a one-handed cut, and then I lay to the earth with a contrary hand. So here, my left hand, my contrary hand is already on the sword, so I just have to bring that point, that sword around, and get that point down onto the ground like I've been doing in the previous lessons. And now we'll put it all together. And here I'm going to show it starting from the left side now with the down left quarter to begin the play. Just showing you that we don't know which side it starts on and that this lesson does work fairly well both ways. So that's my interpretation of the 10th lesson. If you have your own interpretation, please feel free to comment and share. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.